That's nice. That's so nice. I could scissor kick a dike. So nice. I found the bankruptcy files. As you said that, it went low. This is a BMW that I bought from We Buy Cars back in 2023. And the video that you just saw, although it was a joke, had some truth to it because this car has been very expensive, to say the least, and a lot of work has gone into fixing it. Now, guys, I browsed the web for months looking at different cars until I settled on the E92 335i. I looked at different websites. We Buy Cars was one of them. And one day I checked We Buy Cars and I stumbled across a pretty good deal, or what seemed like it. Now, this is where it gets interesting because when we looked at the car, there was no fault codes at all. We idled the car. I even test drove the car and nothing popped up on the dash. And obviously they don't let you test the car when you're there. So everything seemed okay for what it seemed. And I actually ended up buying the car that very same day that I viewed it. So here I am, a very proud owner of a new vehicle from We Buy Cars. And as I was driving it home, the first fault code popped up on the car.
Are you serious?
So I already knew that I was going to be in for a lot of work, and I expected it because I knew I was buying it as a project car. But nonetheless, it's pretty surprising all the tactics that they use just to do the sale. But what did surprise me is the amount of fault codes that I did get when I plugged the car into an OBD reader. I mean, just look at this. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of things, you already know that I was going to straight pipe that car before touching anything else. So that's exactly what I did, and it sounds pretty cool. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is what we are busy doing. If you were paying attention, you would have noticed that this moment right here, the car does a funny lurching thing with the gearbox. So that's the first thing we had to fix. I got everything at the time that I thought would be a full service kit for the car and have it running properly. Just a rundown, finally got the car, everything done at the car, service is done. And then I decided to take it out for a day of driving. You know, I went drove around to the mall, did some shopping and stuff, and took my girlfriend back to where she stays. And then I wanted to show my mates, like my mate and his dad is big car fanatics, wanted to show them the car. And still getting the 30FF code, so it threw me the code on my way there. This was extremely frustrating because I want this car to be a monster, and an inline 6 twin turbo is not much if it's not making any boost. So I mean, I really did try to fix all the issues. The turbo outlet pipe, I fixed it because it had a crack in it. I replaced the vacuum canisters and the vacuum lines. I even went as far as cleaning out the intercooler and replacing the O-rings. And then after that, as a last ditch effort, I bought new wastegate actuator solenoids, thinking it would fix the problem. removing the turbos was a bit of a mission. I had to drop the whole subframe and also get a bunch of parts like the oil and coolant feed lines for the turbos. But once they were removed, we got to work, and the first thing that I needed to sort out was removing the old bushing out of the turbo housing. To get the bushing out, I designed my own slide hammer puller, which essentially just has a bolt that goes onto that rod that you see there, and the bolt needs to sit under the bushing inside of the turbo, so that when you do strike the slide hammer puller, it gives you enough force to pull the bushing out, and then you can start with installing the new one. After that was done, we then reinstalled the bushing into the turbo, and you can do that with a hydraulic press as shown over here. You just need to make sure that you center the bushing properly, and you try not to force it in, otherwise you can damage the bushing and it won't function as it's needed to. So also another tip, before you do this, you can mark where the wastegate actuator sits on the turbo housing, the actual arm, with a Koki. So when you do the reinstallation, you can see where it goes, and you'll see that in this next clip that I'm about to show you. Yes, I'm gonna pin the bushing in. So just got 2 nails, just normal run-of-the-mill nails. From what I understand, the pointed tips are the thing that actually matters with the nails. After that was done, I decided to then weld the pin into the bushing. Please use safety gear if you do this. I was just you know, impatient at the time and wanted to get it done, but yeah. You can see here's the piece. Here's the like little connector for the wastegate actuator, which is going to sit here, and then open, close. And then this is where I welded in the flapper arm. So as you can see, there's a little like the oil pan gasket wasn't really leaking, to be fair. I just did this as preventative maintenance because I had the subframe off of the car. So here I've seated the gasket with some red RTV just to help me in putting it on, because I was doing this whole job by myself. And once that is all set, I put it back on the car.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I managed to eventually remove the bolts, and I got a new one, and everything was fine, so I'm just being a bit dramatic. So, as you can see, we've got the downpipes on, engine mount is back on, O2 sensors are in on the downpipe, new water pump is in, thermostat's in, turbos are on, turbo outlet is on, this plug is for the fan, and I think we are just about ready to get the subframe onto the car. When I first tried to start the car after reassembling everything, I had some problems with the throttle body, and that's because my dumbass dropped the thing, and I didn't realize at the time, but I accidentally loosened this little cog / gear thing, and all that needed to be done was it just needed to be reassembled. So it's safe to say when it was done, I was super ecstatic about it, and just yeah. So I think we're all curious after the whole journey it's been and all of that work just to fix the turbos. how does the car drive? And well, the simple answer to that is, let me just show you. So it is safe to say that when buying a car from We Buy Cars, you can expect to have a lot of work on your hands. But in all fairness to them, I bought the car knowing that, and I couldn't be happier with how it's turned out so far. And I think the progress that the car has right now is a reflection of that.